Yes, all of you quickly switch on your cameras. Yes, how's your preparation going?
Good,
Good?
sir. Yes, sir.
Huh? All of you. Yes, Vaishali,
Yes,
reading?
sir.
Huh? All right. Good. I'm happy if it's going well. Yes, Sahana, going good? All right. Great. Yes. So this is the last R2E session of costing. Okay, we will be completing exhaustively. So yesterday, I hope you appreciate. We went through almost the entire material itself, almost variety of questions. I have obviously I cannot solve in the revision session all the questions, but I'm trying to touch upon all the important questions and give you highlights of what are the different adjustments that is there. I will not. This is not an I cannot do 100% of everything. I hope you all know that. Yes. So the effort is from your end at the end of the day, but yes, we will be helping you with the majority of the things. Okay. All right. So with that, let us start with the next chapter. That is activity based costing ABC. Yes. First thing that you have to remember. Sit straight, all of you. Yes, Abhishek, settle down. 2 minutes ಮುಂಚೆ ಬಂದು ಸೆಟಲ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ಎಸ್ ಆಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ first thing that you have to note down, it is for overheads. It is for overheads, right? So it is the methodology that assigns cost to activities rather than to products or services or departments. Unlike your traditional absorption costing method, wherein your costs are assigned to departments, right? Production department, service department. Here in activity based costing, the costs are assigned to activities. Clear, all of you? Yes. So it typically uses your DMA technique, that is division, multiplication, and addition. Yes. So first what you do, identify what the activities are, identify what the cost drivers are. Yes. That means the factor which drives the cost for that particular activity, identify those. Then find out the cost pools for each of those activities, and then determine the total number of cost drivers and then divide it. First step, division. Find out what is the cost per cost driver rate. Clear, all of you? Cost per cost driver, that is my cost driver rate, you identify by dividing it. Next, you multiply it for each product. So for once cost driver rate is determined, then you will have product ABC, for example. For product A, what is the cost driver? For product B, number of cost. For product C, it would be given. Multiply the cost driver rate, you will find out what the cost is and then add it. That is basically my ABC. Clear? So if you know how to divide, multiply, and add, you can easily perform activity based costing. Easy problems are there. Generally, some of them will be lengthy. Some of them, some rare questions will not be that lengthy. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? So don't just assume looking at the question, oh, this is lengthy, I will not touch it. There have been instances where I have seen it was easy as well as not lengthy. So don't just straight away write it off saying that, see, it is lengthy, I will not do it. Understood? But yes, if it is too lengthy, then I would suggest you not to touch that question because you will be wasting a lot of time. Correct? Sir, how will I know? Practice. Obviously, go through many examination questions. You'll get an idea which is lengthy, which is not. Understood? By reading the question, you will get a hang of it. Only by practice, you will analyze. You'll get it. Okay? All right. So, with that, let's straight away get into the material. Yes. So, activity based costing, ABC, is an accounting methodology that assigns cost to activities. Right? Cost to activities rather than product or services. This enables resources and overhead costs to be more accurately assigned to products and services that consume them. So what are the different level activities? Unit level activities, batch level activities, product level, and facility level. You remember, all of you? So for example, what is facility level activities? That pertaining to that particular building, whatever is there, that could be my facility level activities. Product level activities, designing of the product, right? Batch level activities like setup, right? And then unit level activities that are derived by each and every unit. Those are my unit level activities. Yes. So ABC is very much useful to the organization with multiple products so that you have more accurate costing. Yes. One of the few weaknesses of ABC is it is very costly, right, and cannot be applied for all companies. The use of ABC as a costing tool to manage costs. So as a tool, when you use it to manage costs, called activity based management, or ABM. right, is a discipline that focuses on the efficient and effective management of activities as the route to continuously improving the value received by customers. ABM utilizes cost information gathered through ABC. The value added activities are those activities which are indispensable in order to complete the process. Right? What do I mean by value added and non value added activities? So, if you remember my vital, essential, desirable in material costing, then PDA, vital items are there. Yes, the same thing, similar concept for value added, non value added. Those activities which are indispensable, right? You cannot remove those activities at all. They are value added activities. The other way around is the non value added activities. Yes, non value added activity represents work that is not valued by my external or internal customer. Yes, NV activities do not improve the quality or function of a product or service, but they can adversely affect the costs and prices. Yes, activity based budgeting, right? So, when you budget using ABC principles, that's my activity based budgeting, is a process of planning and controlling the expected activities of the organization to derive a cost effective budget that meets forecast workload and agreed strategic goals. Key elements of ABB are type of work, activity to be performed, quantity of work, activity to be performed, and cost of work or activity to be performed. ABC uses DMA technique, that is division, multiplication, addition, a technique of charging overheads to a product based on various activities carried out in the entity. Cost driver, factors which determine the activity contributing to overheads. Cost pool, aggregate of all costs relatable to each such activity is a cost pool. Total overheads under both absorption costing, this is extremely important, yes, have to be same. The total overheads under absorption costing as well as ABC is always same. It is only the split or bifurcation between activities or product that will change. Understood? So for product A, B, and C, the overheads could be different under absorption costing when compared to ABC. Understood? But the total overheads will always be same. Yes, Sana, Bhavna, all of you understood? Yes. Cost drivers, activity cost pools, and related cost drivers. Yes, so these are some examples. So normally this is what comes in your examination questions also. Ordering and receiving material cost. If this is the cost pool, what is the cost driver? Number of purchase orders. Setting up machine cost, number of setups. Machining cost, machine hours. Assembling cost, number of parts. Quality inspection, number of inspections. Testing cost, number of tests. Painting cost, number of parts again. Supervising cost, direct labor hours, right? Based on business functions, what could be the cost drivers? Research and development. So, number of research projects, personnel hours on a project, design of products, services, and procedures, number of product in design, number of parts per product, number of engineering hours, customer service, number of service calls. Yes, is it fine? Audio, video? Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Number of service calls, number of product service, hours spent on servicing the products, marketing, number of advertisement, number of sales personnel, sales revenue, distribution, number of units distributed, number of customers. Yes, so this is the theory of my activity based costing. Okay. All right. Come to the, let's go through the problems. Activity based costing. Yes. So, concept based question. PP Limited is in the process of implementation of activity based costing in the organization. For this purpose, it has identified the following business function in its organization: research and development, design of product, customer service, marketing. You are required to specify two cost drivers for each business function identified above. Just now we read theory. The same thing is given here. Understood? Yes. Any two cost drivers for each business function. Next. The profit margin of baby hair clips company were over 20% of sales producing brown and black hair clips. Right? During the last year, green hair clips had been introduced at 10% premium in selling price after the introduction of yellow hair clips earlier 5 years back at, you know 10 by 3%, 10 by 3 no, one third, 10 by 3% premium. However, the manager of the company is disheartened with the sales figure for the current financial year as follows. So traditional income statement is given, right? Why is it disheartened? Because earlier year, what is the performance now. Look at this now. So sales is given. Yes. Material cost, direct labor, overheads, 3 times of direct labor. So this is my traditional absorption costing method. Did you all understand, all of you? So based on this traditional incorporate, traditional absorption costing, after applying that, you get total operating income of 13.3, 13.3, 14.8, 18. Overall 13.5%. So it doesn't look that great to him. Therefore, it is a known fact that customers are ready to pay premium amount for yellow and green hair clips for their attractiveness, and the percentage returns are also high on new products. At present, all of the plant's indirect expenses are allocated to the products at 3 times of direct labor expenses. However, the manager is interested in allocating indirect expenses on the basis of activity cost to several to reveal real or no. Yes. So indirect labor, what is happening now? All of you look at this now. Actually, there is a premium that is coming with two products. But if you look at the operating income percentage, even for the product which is giving premium sales, the margin is low because it is taking as 3 times of direct labor. So total overheads under both should always be same, everybody. Yes. So look at this. Total overheads is 1.2 crores, right? Total overheads here also 1.2 crores. Understood? However, the cost breakup is given for each of these activities, right? He provides following additional information for accomplishment of his interest. Incentives to be allocated at 40% of labor expenses, both direct and indirect. All of you. Yes. Indirect labors are involved mainly in 3 activities. About half of indirect labor is involved in handling production runs. Another 40% is required just for the physical changeover from color hair clip to another, because yellow hair clips require substantial labor for. Yes. All right. It requires substantial labor for preparing the machine as compared to other color hair clips. Remaining 10% of the time is spent for maintaining records of the products in 4 parts. Another amount spent on computer system 20 lakh is for maintenance of documents relating to production runs and record keeping of the 4 products. In aggregate, approx 80% of the amount spent is involved in production run activity, and approx 20% is used to keep records of products in 4 parts. Other overhead expenses are as follows, they are given. Okay. So cost driver are given for each of the products. Are you able to see? Sales volume, selling price, material cost, machine hours per unit, production runs, and setup time per run. Calculate the operating income as percentage of sales using activity based costing system, right? State the reasons for different operating income under traditional income system and activity based costing system. Okay. So calculation of operating income and using activity based costing. All of you know, look at this. Activity, indirect labor plus 40% for incentives. They've given there. Yes. Illon sentence will kottidare. Incentives to be allocated at 40% of labor expenses, both direct and indirect. Clear, all of you? So that is taken here. Overhead cost is 56 lakh. Allocation, right? So 50%, 40%, and 10%. That is derived from the illy, paragraph ಅಲ್ಲಿ they've given. Okay. So another 40% is required just for the physical changeover from color hair clip to another, because of yellow, they require more hours and all of that. So since this is labor they have done based on that, you know, what do I call that? Between the 3 products, that is, okay, look at this now. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. Right? So indirect labors are involved mainly in 3 activities. All of you look at this. About half of the indirect labor is involved in handling production runs. 40% is required, right, just for the physical changeover, right? And then balance 10% of the time is spent for maintaining records, right? So that is what is done here, right? 50%, 40%, and 10%. This is based on production run. This is based on setup hours. This is based on number of parts because of documentation. Understood, all of you? So based on that, they have find out what the cost driver rate is for these things. Then computing systems, they've given there again 80%, 20% classification. First 80% is based on production run, second is based on number of parts. So ade kuda. All right. The same thing is done here also. And then machinery depreciation based on machine hours, machine maintenance again based on machine hours, energy for machinery again based on machine hours. Clear all of you? So found out what the cost driver rates are and then multiply it based on this table given, all of you. This table is there, right? Activity cost driver rate breakup is given here. Machine hours per unit, what is it? Then production runs. So all of this you multiply it here, right? So first division has happened, now multiplication. You multiply it and after that you add it. So this is the income statement based on ABC. All of you with me? Right? Income statement, quantity units given in the question, sales price, selling price per unit is given in the question, multiply it, material cost given, direct labor given, all of it is given. This thing is based on my ABC. This 40%. ABC many you will do. Again here indirect labor plus incentives, no? All of this is based on the ABC principles. Clear? A cost driver rate we found out, yes, 9,333 into 100, right? Into 76 into 24. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? This 100, 76, 24 again, it would have been given in the question. That is what you multiply. Here you can see here 100, 100, 76, 24. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? All of you. Everybody understanding? The same thing you multiply here. This you apply the same principles of ABC. But if you look at it, it's quite a lengthy question. Right? It's quite a lengthy question. Look at this now, all of you. The answer starts from here. First, you're supposed to do this table, then this table, right? And then again this, then this again. So obviously in each column, you're doing a calculation into point one, into point one, into, so it takes time, right? All right. Similar problem, all of you. Yes, similar set of questions. This is a theoretical question on level of activities, unit level, batch level, product level. What is the meaning of each of them? Okay. Any theory question is there, please don't miss it. You have to compulsory read it. Recent examination questions. Right. So GST Limited is a multi-product company. The production and cost details of its two products P and Q are given as follows. Right. So quantity produced, direct material, labor hours, purchase requisition number, production runs number, quality inspection is given, and then here activities are given, right? So it is also decided that the salary of technical staff should be distributed among the machine maintenance, setup, and quality control in the ratio of 1 is to 2 is to 2. Machine maintenance expenses and machine operation expenses should be distributed in the ratio of 2 is to 3 in between stores and production setup activities. Yes. So again, you have to go through this problem and then solve Madi Nive. Yes, 8 mark problem. This is September 24 examination. It is not complicated. It is simple. Yes. So total cost under traditional method, right? So calculation of production overhead using the direct labor hours worked. Clear all of you? So find out what the total production overhead is. That is machine operation expenses, technical staff salary, machine maintenance expenses, and wages and salary of store staff. Add all of it, production overhead divided by 72,000 direct labor hours, you get 3.75. Right? So that 3.75 you multiply into the labor hours for this particular, P and Qs respectively. Understood? 800 hours and 600 hours, you will get what the production overhead is for P and Q. That is under traditional method. Activity based costing, again, I identify the activity pools. Yes, machine maintenance expenses, total stores, production setup, and quality control. Right? Then you identify the cost for each of it. They've given in the question itself in what ratio you have to distribute the costs. Yes, everybody. 1 is to 2 is to 2, 2 is to 3, 2 is to 3. And then wages and salary of stores will go only to stores. Clear? Add all of it. This is basically what my activity pool, cost pool. In this, there is one extra working note for identifying the cost pool. Did you all understand? In other questions, cost pool is directly given. In this question, cost pool you're identifying. Clear all of you? Note it down. Note it down, all of this. In this revision sessions, I hope you're noting down everything that I'm saying. Nenpirodilla amele. Yes. Cost for each activity cost driver. So whatever pools you have identified here, 1,15,200, 1,36,800, 18,000, divide by the each cost driver, right? Whatever the cost drivers are, and then find out what the cost driver rate is, right? Again, this is simple. Okay, this is a MTP question, but 6 marks are there. 6 marks, okay, see the number of working you have to do. First this, then this one, right? And still it's not done. This also is a part of the question for 6 marks. Explain the usefulness or sustainability of ABC for 4 marks. Okay. Again, important. Go through this. I think this is all okay. If you see everywhere, it is the same pattern that you will see. Understood? Ali, there is one problem which I've done in the class operating income. NPDA. So, first, traditional costing method based on GP percentage, you find out what the operating income is, and then you apply the ABC principles and then find out what the operating income after that is, and then we have done a comparison. Remember, all of you? Right? Go through that problem. Okay, so ABC only, that's it. So normal, either there will be a normal ABC question or there will be a comparison between traditional costing and ABC. This is the two kinds of problem that come. You will not find different variety problems, the same concept and pattern in different wordings, you'll keep finding it just. Okay, practice at least two, three problems exhaustively, Madi, and with that you would have gotten to know what the flow is, and then you can go through all the other questions and mark the important adjustments. That's all. Okay, everyone. That's it. So with that, we've completed activity-based costing. Yes. All right. The next one is service costing. Yes. What is service costing? The cost of operating a service is nothing but my service costing. Why it's a separate chapter? Huh? Yes. Why service costing is a separate chapter? Right? Till now, all the discussions that we had in all the other previous chapters, it was mainly focused on manufacturing entities. Correct? So, but service costing for service oriented industries, the costing is a little different. And we have discussed this costing of different industries, could be transportation, could be hospital, could be education, could be hotel industry. Yes, all of this we have discussed. Then your toll rate problem, everything is a part of, you know, your service costing related issues. Clear, all of you? So each sectorally, please make sure you're solving at least one or two questions, okay, in each of the sectors, so you have a hang of the flow and the format. Yes, the format of service costing is very similar to your overheads. Overheads only you are considering the standing charges and the maintenance charges, everything only pertaining to overheads. Here also you have fixed and then variable, but then here you will consider the entire cost and not just overheads. Clear, all of you? That's the main difference between service costing and your overheads chapter, that is machine or rate problems. Clear? Now, service costing only, the most important concept that you need to remember is the cost unit. There are two types of cost units. One is a simple or single unit. Whenever one unit is used, that is kg, liter, right, kilometer, etc. Composite units, when two units of measurement are used, that is when I call it as composite unit. Clear, all of you? Yes, two units of measurement. Now, the two units of measurement could be anything. Yes, say for example, in transportation industry, ton kilometer. Yes, in hotel industry, it could be your room nights per day, all right, or room nights. Correct or not? Next, in your what do I call that? Hospital industry, patient, right, patient days, patient per day, like that you have multiple composite units. Clear, all of you? Composite units, the calculation of this you can do using two methods. One is absolute units or commercial unit basis. Yes, what do you mean by absolute units? Just takes the distance traveled into the tons. Yes. Commercial unit, what we do, average load into total distance traveled, we multiplied. That is a simple average into total distance traveled. Clear, all of you? In my absolute units, what we take? Each ton we take separately. Each weight is considered separately. For example, first 10 kilometers, 5 tons. Next 5 kilometers, say 2 tons, right? So you have to multiply each kilometer and for that particular leg, what is the ton? You multiply it and add. That's the weighted average you use under absolute unit. And a commercial unit, you will find a simple average of the load, right? All the tons you add it together, divide by the number of legs that you have into total distance traveled. That is my commercial unit basis. Commercial unit uses simple average, absolute unit uses weighted average principle. Clear, all of you? Yes. All right. So, like I said, the format is very simple. Standing cost, right? Or your fixed charges you have. Then you have semi-variable cost and then running or variable cost. Clear? Running or variable cost. Now, all those costs which are related to the number of kilometers run, etc., or which is related to my activity is normally considered running or variable. Yes. Anything that is not related to the running or running life of the machinery or bus, etc., that is treated as standing cost or fixed cost. Clear, all of you? Yes. Depreciation, if it is given as based on a flux of time, considered to be fixed. If it is given based on, say, number of kilometers run, etc., it would be given treated as variable in nature. Yes. So always remember, whenever you are calculating the working note regarding the composite units, yes, first find out what is the total distance traveled and then multiply into the tons and then find out 10 kilometer. Yes. Why total distance traveled has to be calculated separately? Because it will be required for calculating your variable expenses, say your petrol, lubricant oil, and other consumables, etc., which would have been given as per kilometer. What is the expense? Clear, all of you? Therefore, total distance has to be computed separately and then you multiply into your. Yes. After that, first you calculate what the total distance traveled is and then multiply the tons and find out what the ton kilometer is. Okay. Yes. So in the format, like I said, first standing charges, then semi-variable, and then you'll have running or variable. And in the end, you will get what the cost of operating a service is. To this, you will add profit and then you'll get your sales, or it is also called takings or fare. Remember, sales or takings or fare. In this, normally commission related variable X anta barutte. If you remember, right? So commission would have been given as a percentage of your takings, so both will be considered as X. Then you'll find out what the total cost is, excluding the commission, profit, and sales. Right? Excluded. So before arriving at what the that is excluding commission and profit, what the total cost is. Then using that, you equate it and find out, okay, what could be X. Remember, all of you, this working notes we have done. All right. So that's it. This is my service costing theory. Let us straight away discuss the problems. Yes. So Star Airlines operates a single aircraft of 180 seats capacity. Is this happening? Yes. 180 seats capacity between. Yes, 180 seats capacity between ND and GA. The average normal occupancy is estimated at 70% per flight. The average one-way fare, you remember this, huh? Or a one-way and round trip. One-way fare is rupees 12,500 from ND to GA. The costs of operation of the flight, as collected by an expert analyst, are fuel cost variable per flight from ND to GA is so much. Food served on flight from ND to GA, no charge to passenger. This is not charge, this is only my cost. Yes. So for calculating margin, it would be required, but not for the purpose of calculating fare. Yes. No charge to passenger. Next. 270 per passenger. Then commission paid to travel agents 7.5% of fare. All ticket bookings are through agents. Right? Fixed costs, lease and landing charges per flight is given so much. Salaries of flight crew per flight is given. Assume that the total fuel costs are unaffected by the actual number of passengers on a flight. You are required to calculate the net operating income that Star Airlines makes per flight from Indy to GA. Look at this. There's nothing complicated here. Yes, everything is straightforward. Just take the sales and then minus all the costs. You get your income. Star Airlines expects that its occupancy will increase to 144 passengers per flight if the fare is reduced to 11,670. Advise whether this proposal should be implemented or not. Right? So number of passengers 180 seats into 70% 126. Fare collection 126 into 12,500 15 lakh 75,000. Fuel cost is 2 lakh 28 given in the question already. Passive food, food cost 126 passengers is 270, 34,020. Commission 75% of 15 lakh 75 is given here. Therefore, contribution per flight is so much. Then fixed cost, lease and landing charges, salaries of flight crew, salaries of flight crew 10 lakh 2,000 total. Net income is so much. Anything complicated in this? It's straightforward, yes or no? This is your examination question, by the way. Yes, and recent examination question. Fare collection 144 into 11,670, and then fuel is, even though consider I'm putting it under variable, but they've told it to be fixed per flight. Understood, all of you? It is fixed per flight. The 2,28,000. Food is 144, then 7.5% of 1684.80. You get the contribution, and then from that you minus this, you get the net income. So if you compare the net income, above is 192, then it is 285. Therefore, the increase in contribution by 92 709. Hence, the proposal is accepted. Yes. Now this is important, all of you. Mark this important. RTP May 24. EV related problem. CNG car and EV. Yes. Now, look at this. So car price is given, government subsidy, life of the car, residual value, mileage, electricity consumption per full charge, right? CNG cost per kg, power cost per kilowatt hour, annual maintenance cost, annual insurance cost. Now, why am I telling this is important? Because of these two things. Tire replacement cost in every 5 year. All of you look at this now. Every 5 year, there's a tire replacement cost. I'm not sure if I've done this in the class. Madidina class ali? Lala? No, normally I don't do it because I do it during revision. Yes, now look at this. Life of the car is 15 years, all of you. Okay. Tire replacement cost in every 5 years. Now, all of you quickly tell me what will be the replacement cost of CNG car tires during the lifetime. During the lifetime.
48,000.
Yes. So how you did 16,000 into 3, correct, Sana?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Now this is the mistake that everyone does. And all of you look at this. Not just Sana, and almost the entire class will do the same mistake. 0, then every 5 years, am I right? Then 10 and 15, correct? Yes. Now this is when it is purchased. Okay, make a note of this chart timeline. Make a note, everybody write down. Yes, this is not normal class, so don't expect me to dictate again. ನಾನು ಬರೀವಾಗ ನೀವು ಬರೀರಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Anything and everything that I'm writing in my book, it should be in your book also. Okay. Anyway, at least in your notes book, make a note of it. So 0 purchased. Then first 5 years. Now tell me, will there be any replacement until the fifth year?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
So fifth
No,
year
sir.
you'll make the first replacement. Am I right? This is
Yes,
my
sir.
first replacement. Next, 10th year, will you make a replacement?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This is my second replacement. Now, 15th year, will you make a replacement?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
ಉಜ್ಜಿಡ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ ಮಾರಕ್ಕಿಲ್ವಾ ಹೋಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Now you tell me, how many replacements?
Two
Two
replacements.
Two
replacements.
replacements.
Two replacements. Right? It is a tendency 15 by 5 and the 3 into 16,000 marti, which is wrong. It is only 2. Did you understand?
Yes.
All of you. Similarly here also, right? Tire replacement cost in every 5 years is 16,000. Life is 10 years. That means how many replacements?
One
One
replacement.
Only one replacement. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Same way for battery. Same way for battery. Replacement cost in every year. So 8 years ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ there are 15 years. Therefore one replacement
One
here.
replacement.
Here there are 10 years. Here also there is one replacement. Understood? That is only the important adjustment in this problem. Yes, so that's what it will be given. right? So if you see here, that's what is given here, 2 times and 1 time, right? Here also battery replacement 1 time and 1 time. Right? So holiday resort, super deluxe problem. Similarly, I've done in the class, if you remember, equivalent units concept, right? When one is expressed in terms of the other, that's when we use the equivalent units concept. Yes. So rent of super deluxe room is to be fixed at 2 times of deluxe. So therefore, if deluxe is X, this will be 2X. NPDA, all of you. Yes. So equivalent rooms, room nights or room days you need to calculate and then find out what the room tariff will be. Toll plaza problem. Please solve this. Toll plaza problem. Okay, I have done similar question in the class. I've gone through it. Study material ಇದೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿ. If you have doubts, you can ask me. See, look at this now. Very easy theory questions. Suggest the unit of cost for the following industries: transport, right? Power, hotel, hospital, steel, coal mining. All of this very easy. Yes. So transport get 10 kilometer, right? Passenger kilometer, right? So transportation of bus ಇದೆ passenger kilometer, then power kilowatt hour, hotel room days, you can write room days or room nights also, not just room nights, hospitals patient day, steel would be ton, coal mining ton, professional services chargeable hour job or contract, gas ಇದೊಂದು mark ಮಾಡಿ. This normally students forget this and they make a mistake. Mark this. Gas is cubic feet, all of you. Yes. Engineering contract or job, oil barrel ton or liter, right? Again, this is easy. So what do you understand by build, operate, transfer? Right? So what? Build, operate, transfer. First you build it, then operate, and then transfer it, right, to the government. Then PDA, all of you. So that theory is there. Please go through it. Toll rate and all what it is, along with the formula. All of this is there in a caps material. I have also discussed in the class. This examination question also please go through. Get season and off season NPDI problem done in the class. I have given the working note. So that same question is here. Yes, season and off season, right? 80% occupancy, 40% occupancy, lighting charges, which is different. Same problem this is, right? Study material problem done in the class. Again, it's simple. Okay. So this is a hospital problem. Break even point has to be calculated and done. Simple, nothing complicated. You all go through it, you'll be able to do. Okay. Then MCQs are given. Please go through all the MCQs. Don't miss any of them. And then recent examination questions. All right. Oh, then with that, I've given you an overview of service costing chapter. There are certain problems with marginal costing formulas inbuilt, incorporating your service costing. Go through those also. All right. Yes, sit straight, all of you. So we have good time now. I think good 1 hour we can discuss on marginal costing. After that, we'll go through the RTP. Okay. Last RTP we'll go through. Yes, sit straight, all of you. Marginal costing, right? Your marginal cost is nothing but your ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು
Variable cost.
variable
Variable
cost.
cost.
Yes or no? Correct? Yes, sit straight, all of you. Why some of them still everybody should keep the video on? Yes, everybody, at least for marginal costing, keep the video on. Yes, Gautami, are you there? Pavitra, Darshan, yes, Harika. Ah. Yes. Marginal cost means the cost incurred or saved by producing or not producing a unit. Yes, it is the cost saved or incurred by producing or not producing a unit. Simple. That's nothing but my variable cost. Yes, because variable cost varies, right, for each unit produced. Correct or not? So it remains, your variable cost remains fixed per unit and varies in total. Remember, all of you. So your marginal costing is based on behavior wise classification of cost, that is variable and fixed, right? We are not bothered about whether it is direct, indirect and all. Very simple, it is just variable and fixed. Yes, the fundamental formula in marginal costing: sales minus variable cost is equals to
Contribution.
Contribution.
is equals to
Contribution.
Contribution.
Profit.
contribution is equals to fixed cost plus
Fixed cost.
profit.
Profit.
LHS, that is sales and variable cost, normally within the control of the management. To increase profitability, you have to increase the number of units sold, increase the sales, or reduce my variable cost. Correct? Reduce the variable cost. This will increase the profitability. Profit, fixed cost and profit. Fixed cost is sunk in nature, right? Therefore, normally not within the control of the management. RHS is not within control. LHS is within the control of the management. RHS at the fixed cost is sunk in nature, irrelevant for decision making because it's already incurred or committed. Yes, Pavitra. P, and profit is a balancing figure. Clear? Yes. All right. So the first formula, right, after the obviously your fundamental formula, the first formula that we learned is your profit volume ratio. Yes. What's the formula for profit volume ratio? Contribution by sales into 100. Right? When 2 years data is given, change in contribution by change in sales. Change in contribution ಮಾಡುವಾಗ what will happen? Fixed cost will get eliminated. So it's also equal to change in profit by change in sales. Clear? This is my PVR formula. 1 minus variable cost percentage is also PVR. Correct? 1 minus variable cost percentage is also PVR. These are the formulas that we had learned for profit volume ratio. Next, break even sales. It is that level of sales at which there is no profit, no loss, or total cost is equals to my sales. Correct? At break even sales, contribution is equals to
Fixed cost.
fixed cost. Therefore, break even sales in value is equals to fixed cost divided by PVR. Break even sales in unit is equals to fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. NPV formula. Yes. Next. This is the break-even sales in value and in units. What is margin of safety? Right? The level of sales achieved in excess of break-even sales is margin of safety. Therefore, total sales or actual sales minus break-even sales is margin of safety. One more formula is profit divided by PVR. Profit divided by PVR. Another formula, right? Total sales into margin of safety percentage is also margin of safety. Yes. Correct or not? Next, margin of safety divided by MOS percentage is what?
Sales.
Total sales. Break even sales divided by BS percentage is
Sales.
Sales.
Total sales.
1 minus BS percentage is
MOS percentage.
MOS percentage. Yes. So they could have given you MOS percentage. They would have given you break even sales. You can find out total sales. I repeat. They would have given you MOS percentage. They would have given you break even sales in value. You can find out total sales. How? 1 minus MOS percentage is BS percentage. Break-even sales, Shobini, is given in the question. So break-even sales divided by BS percentage will give me total sales. Understanding? All of you? Yes? Alright. Next is my X profit formula. Right? Sales at X profit is equals to fixed cost plus X profit divided by PVR in value. Fixed cost plus X profit divided by contribution per unit will give me in units. Clear? Right? Next. Fixed cost is related to my break-even sales. Profit is connected to margin of safety. Yes or no? Therefore, break-even sales into PVR will give me what?
Cost.
Cost. Margin of safety into PVR will give me?
Profit. Profit.
Yes, profit. Sales into PVR is contribution. Sales into PVR is contribution. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ all of you? Yes?
Yes.
All right. Yes. So I think these are the major formulas. Obviously, there are lot from this only you will derive a lot of other formulas, right, which we have discussed in the class also, and we can go through in the study material also. Okay, open your caps material. So, Andre, I'll share the caps material. It is same. Okay. Yes. All right. So, marginal costing means the cost incurred or saved by producing or not producing a unit. Marginal cost is nothing but variable cost, which is equal to very, very important prime cost plus my variable overhead. You have to add both, then only you get variable cost. Fixed cost should always be expressed in total. If you see per unit, you have to multiply into budgeted units. So, what is the formula for fixed cost? Budgeted, right? Budgeted units into, yes, budgeted fixed cost rate, correct? Right? Budgeted units into budgeted fixed cost per unit. Multiply both, you get the total fixed cost. Break-even sales. So break-even point is that level of sales at which sales is equals to cost. Absorption costing versus marginal costing. Absorption costing a method of costing wherein all costs, both fixed and variable, are absorbed by the product based on certain absorption rates. That is both fixed as well as variable. In marginal costing is a method of costing wherein only variable costs, right, or marginal costs are considered while determining the cost of a product. Key factor, limiting factor, a factor of production which limits the number of units to be produced and sold, right? Normally sales is the limiting factor except in case of monopoly industry, right? Decision making in key bar limiting factor, sales, choose the product having highest contribution per unit. If sales is the limiting factor, any other limiting factor, choose the products having highest contribution per limiting factor. Clear? Next, cost volume profit analysis, the impact of cost and volume on the ultimate profitability of a company, that is the maximizing the sales and reducing the cost. Is the basically that is this comes under my margin costing itself. Yes, the LHS what I explained. Now, there are various different types of cost and the relevance. Historical cost is irrelevant, correct? Sunk cost is irrelevant. Committed cost, it's already committed, even if it is not yet incurred, it is irrelevant. Opportunity cost is always relevant. The cost of benefit foregone by not selecting the next best alternative. Yes, notional cost or imputed cost is also relevant. Shutdown cost is also relevant. Yes, shutdown cost, avoidable fixed cost. NPDA, all of you. Right? The discretionary cost is known as shutdown cost. Okay. So margin costing was absorption costing. We already read this, right? Only variable cost is considered. Both fixed and variable costs are considered here, right? So fixed costs are regarded as period costs, right? Fixed costs are charged to the cost of production. Cost data presented highlight the total contribution of each product. Here it is in a conventional pattern. Obviously only net profit and gross profit is presented, but contribution is not, cannot be presented. The difference in magnitude of opening stock and closing stock does not affect the cost of production. Here it impacts the cost of production. In case of margin costing, the cost per unit remains the same irrespective of the production as it is valued at variable cost. However, here it will not be same. Basic formula: sales minus variable cost is fixed cost plus or minus profit or loss. By multiplying and dividing LHS by S, you get S into S minus V by S is equal to F plus P, right? So sales into sales minus variable cost by sales. So sales into PV ratio. How did I get PV ratio here? Sales minus variable cost contribution divided by sales is PV ratio. Sales into PV ratio is nothing but fixed cost plus profit or contribution, right? Therefore, PV ratio is nothing but sales minus V by S. Break-even sales into PV ratio is fixed cost, right? Break-even sales is fixed cost by PV ratio. PV ratio is equal to fixed cost by break-even sales. Sales into PV ratio is contribution. PV ratio is equal to contribution by sales. Break-even sales plus margin of safety into PV ratio is contribution. Total sales is nothing but break-even sales plus margin of safety. Break-even sales into PV ratio, and it will be my fixed cost. Then margin of safety into PV ratio is profit. Excuse me. That's what is given here. Right? Change in profit by change in sales is also PV ratio. Change in contribution by change in sales is also PV ratio. Margin of safety is total sales minus break-even sales or profit by PVR. Break-even sales is total sales minus margin of safety. MOS ratio is total sales minus break-even sales by total sales. That is margin of safety divided by total sales. These are the different formulas under marginal costing. Okay. Yes, I hope you're very comfortable with the marginal costing formulas. Everybody, yes? In and out, all the permutation combination, you should know. Every permutation combination under margin costing, you should know. Okay? Yes. All right. Marginal costing problems. Yes. I hope you are making a note of all the problems and the points that I make you write.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. The analysis of cost sheet of A Limited for the last financial year has revealed the following information for its product: 30% of cost of goods sold, cost of goods sold. So what is important here, all of you concentrate now. This is given as a percentage of cost of sales, everybody. Okay. Here this is given as a percentage of cost of goods sold. Right? I hope you know the difference. Yes. Okay. Fixed cost is given here. Last year, 5,000 units were sold at 185 per unit. You being an associate to cost controller of A Limited, calculate. Have we solved this problem in the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we definitely solved it. Remember. Yes, first what you should do, first for COGS you form an equation. Do not include the selling and distribution cost. NPD. Only find out what COGS is. And then you add S&D and then find out what the cost of sales is. Yes. So remember, that's what I told you here. First you do an equation for COGS. Yes, COGS is equals to then whatever is given there, right? Direct material is given as 30%, am I right? 30%, 15%, 10%, 2%. So 30%, 15%, 10%, 2%, and then add all the fixed costs with respect to these particular only till COGS. Don't write the cost of sales to fixed cost. Idana, what is happening? Yes, 68,000 you don't consider, all of you. 68,000, not 2 lakh 30 and 71,000 only is considered. Can you see here? 71,000 and 2 lakh 30 is considered. So now you equate it, find out what COGS is. COGS is 7 lakh, right? Cost of sales is COGS plus the selling and distribution cost. So 7 lakh we found out, then selling and distribution you have to find. Cost of sales you have to find out. Clear, all of you? Yes. Okay, this is important. I'll tell you what the important adjustment is. Like I said, each problem I cannot solve, but the important adjustment that you have to note down here is shelf life of 1 year. Okay, it has a shelf life of 1 year. The company has an opening stock of 20,000 packets, whose variable cost is 180 per packet. Production was so much. It expected production they've given. You're required to calculate the break-even volume in units for 23-24. MTech Manufacturing is presently evaluating two possible processes for the manufacture of tie. The following information is given for process A and B. Identify the process which gives more profit. Would you change your answer as given above if you are informed that the capacity of the two processors are as follows? Right? So look at this now. This is what I do. Important adjustment is, everybody, are you in the class? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Calculation of break-even point in units. Since the shelf life of the product is 1 year only, right? Opening stock has to be sold first. Artha aita, all of you? Because the cost of the opening stock is given at a different rate when compared to your current year production. Clear, all of you? Current year, there's no problem. It is always at variable cost when it comes marginal costing. But opening cost, you don't know opening stock at what value it has to be taken. That they have given. So therefore, first opening stock and then you have to take the cost. This is what is important in this problem. Okay? Artha aita, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Huh. This is another problem. Little different problem. Okay? An agriculture based company having 210 hectares of land is engaged in growing three different cereals, namely wheat, rice, and maize. The yield of the different crops and their selling prices are given below. It is given per hectare. Per hectare yield in kgs is 2000 kgs, 500 kg, 100 kg. Okay. Selling price per kg is 20, 40, and 250. Okay. The variable cost data of different crops are given below. Right. So this is all figures in rupees per kg. All of you clear? What is the cost that is required? Wheat, rice, and maize, labor charges, packing materials, and other variable expenses. So, selling price per kg is given, variable cost per kg is given. Clear all of you? Company has a policy to produce and sell all the three kinds of crops. The maximum and minimum area to be cultivated for each crop is as follows. Right? Maximum area in hectares for wheat, rice, and maize 160 to 50 and 60. Here, minimum area 100, 40, and 10. Did you all understand? Yes. So, if you observe here, the total of this will be more than 210. Okay. If it was not more than 210, then there is no limiting factor. So, in this problem, what is the limiting factor?
210 hectares. Area of land.
Area of the land is my limiting factor. Okay. Minimum area is given here. So this will be definitely less than 210. Clear all of you? 150, which is less than 210. This is greater than 210. Yes. You are required to rank the crops on the basis of contribution per hectare. Right? Determine the optimum product mix considering that all three cereals are to be produced. Right? Calculate the maximum profit which can be achieved if the total fixed cost per annum is 21,45,000. Assume that there are no constraints applicable to this company. Yes. So sale price per kg is given, variable cost per kg is given, contribution per kg you have identified. Clear all of you? Here I have to calculate the contribution per hectare here. Understood all of you? Contribution per hectare, yield in kgs per hectare is given, contribution per hectare you find out, and then ranking. Is this clear? Right? So ranking per hectare is done. So what is the total available hectares? Total available hectares is 210. But how do I do the apportionment now for this? First, rank number 1 is what? Right? Rice. Correct. Minimum has to be allocated. There is no doubt. 100, 40, and 10 has to be allocated first. Right? So what we do here, first minimum area 100, 40, and 10 allocate. You get 150. Remaining is 60. Arthak is a little bit different problem. This is normally what we do 210 and then you minus based on whichever is giving you highest contribution. But since minimum has to be given, first you remove minimum. Balance is 60. This 60 you will apportion based on ranking of 1 and 2. So rank number 1 is rice. Rice only, what is the maximum? 50. Am I right? All of you? 50. So 40 is already given under minimum. So here you allocate 10. The balance is given to wheat. So that is how the 150, 50, and 10 comes. Understood? That is what is different in this problem. RPP manufacturer is approached by an international customer for one-time special order. All of you look at this now. Whenever there is one-time special order, what is relevant for decision making? Done in the class. One-time special order, which is what is the cost which has to be considered?
Variable cost.
Variable cost. Yes, Kavana, correct. Any doubt? Variable cost has to be considered. Clear all of you? This is what is relevant for decision making as long as my contribution is at least equal to variable cost. Right? Or even 1 rupee more than variable cost, that is more than enough. Because fixed cost is already covered from my regular sales. Clear all of you? Yes. Similar to one offered to domestic customers, per unit data for sales to regular customers is provided below. This is my per unit data. It is provided that, but the target, okay, it is provided the RPP manufacturer has excess capacity. So there is no doubt. If you remember, in one of the adjustments what I had done in the class, the capacity also was getting utilized. NPDA though. Go through that problem, medal problem or something. What is the full cost of the product per unit? Right? What is the contribution margin per unit? Which costs are relevant for making the decision regarding this one-time special order and why? For RPP manufacturer, what is the minimum acceptable price for this one-time special order only? For this one-time special order, Should RPP manufacturer consider a price of 2,100 per unit? Why or why not? The lab corner of New Life Hospital Trust operates two types of. This is a totally different problem actually. Okay. Specialist MRI scanning machine MR10 and MR59. Following details estimated for the next period. Running hours is given, variable cost and fixed cost. A brain scan is normally carried out on machine type MR10. This task uses special technology costing rupees 100 each and takes 4 hours of the machine time. Because of the nature of process, around 10% of the scans produced blurred and therefore useless results. Okay. Calculate the total cost of satisfactory brain scan on the machine type MR10. Brain scans are also required. So this is the next question. First question, five sub questions are given there. Yes. Right. So this is what is given. Minimum acceptable price would be the incremental costs. Right. That is direct material, direct labor, and variable. This is basically my variable cost. Understood, all of you? 1512. That is what is considered. Is required here. Yes. Cans though, please go do it. Okay. You should solve this. Okay. Compulsory solve this. Similar type of questions have come 2-3 times in the exam. Okay. Again, this is simple. Go through this problem. This what is margin of safety? What does a large margin of safety indicate? How can you calculate margin of safety? Yes, easy question, everybody. Even without reading, I think you can answer on your own. No, based on the concept. What is margin of safety? What does a large margin of safety mean? Right? How can you calculate margin of safety? Very easy. Okay, now this is the absorption costing versus marginal costing problem. Please solve this problem. Okay. Go through it. It's enough. Okay. Yes. Case scenario based questions. Look at this now. Popular company produces various articles for student purposes. It has been in industry since the last 25 years. Company had a very humble start but gained popularity over the years due to excellent quality products which were sold at a very competitive price. Company has huge reserves and feels that it is so also obligated to give back to the society from which it has grown. Last year, management decided to produce and supply special quality school bags, water bottles, and geometry boxes to NGOs at no price. Okay, no, as a social responsibility. These articles were simple looking but were more durable, that would not have worn off easily and could have been used for long term. This year, so this is last year. Okay, now this year, management wants to add another dimension to this social work. It approached charitable schools and government run schools and offered them the supply of the same articles but at cost. Here it is at no price, right? This is to NGOs, now to government run schools, etc. This will help students in these schools to get these things at a very low price compared to market. The variable costs are 100, 80 and 40 for school bag, water bottle and geometry boxes respectively. These articles are made using a single machine. 0.2 hours of machine operation is required for manufacturing 1 unit of school bag. Similarly, machine hours required for each units of water bottle and geometry box are 0.15 and 0.10 hours. Overheads related to the machine is 7,40,000 per year. Machine can operate for 8,000 hours in a year. Company has decided to sell its 80% capacity production in markets. Okay, rest is divided amongst the two undergoing social works equally. That means 3 arrow marks, 80% sold to the market, 10% at no price, correct? 10% at cost. Artha aita? All of you? Yes, all schools request these items in the ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 5 as per their demand by the school students. Right? Company wants to set a price for these articles to be offered to the schools. Management has few questions they need answers to. They assigned the task to their team. Team made rough calculations, but as there were too many people on the team, each came up with different answers. As chartered accountant, you have been approached. Understand the case closely. Find the correct answers and help the management to set a price. Answer the following. What is allocated fixed cost per unit of school bags, water bottles, and geometry boxes? What is the allocated fixed cost? Okay, right? Then you have to calculate that. Then if the prices are 200, 160, and 100, what would be the overall break-even point in units in relation to fixed cost allocated to these supplies? Find out the maximum number of units of each article that can be given at the price given in part 2 above. What will be the maximum units that can be supplied to schools? What should be the correct price for each item as per the management's decision? Yes. So fixed overheads is given, right? Okay. Before that, note figures are rounded off to the nearest figures to remove approximation error wherever required. Okay. Fixed overhead is equals to, right, your 7,40,000. Total machine hours is 8,000. Fixed overhead per hour is 92.5. Fixed overhead per unit of school bag, water bottle, and geometry box. Multiply into the fixed overhead per hour into the respective machine hours. Understood? 0.2, 0.15, 0.10. Given in the start of the question. Yes, everybody. This is basically my traditional method. Correct? All of you. Okay. Next. Second sub question. If the prices were so much, what should be the overall break-even point in relation to the fixed cost allocated to these supplies? Okay, so hours allocated 8,000 into 10%, 800 hours. Fixed overhead allocated is 800 in 74,000. Contribution 800 minus 100, 160 minus 80, 100 minus 40. Given the question, composite contribution, NPD, all of you. Do you remember the concept of composite contribution? Yes or no, everybody?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Sir.
Whenever there is a fixed cost is no bifurcation is given for fixed cost, no bifurcation, correct? But you have multiple products. That is when you find out what is the composite contribution, right? So that you can find out the break even. Understood? So find out what is the composite contribution per unit, right? Contribution per unit is given individually, multiply into the ratio given, all of you. Yes, 2 is to 3 is to 5, I think, is the ratio given. So use that ratio to find out what the composite contribution is, and that you use it for finding out what the composite break even point is. Clear? 1,000 units are to be distributed in the ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 5. So therefore find out what is bags, bottle, and geometry. Total hours is 800 hours. Let the total number of units be x. So then find out, solve for the x and find out bag, bottle, and geometry. What would be the answer? Yes. Next. See, cash break even point, what you should do? Right? Add back depreciation. Do not consider depreciation. Yes. Without depreciation, when you calculate the break even point, you get the cash break even point. Everybody with me and
Yes.
understanding? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Idunu Madi, go through this. right? This is actually your standard costing. Standard costing, it's come here, standard costing formula. MCQ, please go through and solve all of them. Okay. Again, this one also. This is again US dollar one. I was searching for this one. Yes, Idin Madi. Right? US dollar. Don't miss this because again here conversion is there. One last class I told you one Sri Lankan rupee one. Correct. Similarly here also US dollar one is there. Please solve this. Yes. Margin costing, please go through all the problems and adjustments. Now go through Madi. Mark those important adjustments, those different adjustments which is there. I told you margin costing early. 100 problems you solve, 101st problem will be different. Right? So no matter how many problems you solve, the next problem will be different. So as much as possible, try to note down all the different adjustments. Okay, everybody? Yes. So with that, we have completed the 3 chapters. Now I want to just go through the RTP, the latest RTP which is available. I think this examination RTP is not yet come. May 25 RTP is there. We'll go through the May 25 RTP of costing. My chapters, the 6 chapters what we did now. Shall we? Yes. All right. Yes, this is your May 25 RTP. All right. Case scenario based MCQs. All of you go through. This is a combination of all the chapters, okay, including your first chapter and all, out of pocket expenses and everything, okay. Integrated Madi they've given. Yes, it is not pertaining to respect to a particular chapter. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? Yes, it's a
Yes,
generic question. Generic question. Go through it and solve it. It's not complicated. I've gone through it. It is easy. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Yes, only thing is that different ಇದೆ, so ಮಾಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Got it?
Yes.
yes,
Yes. For ABC also, there is a normal ABC question, all of you. Okay, normal question it is. Only thing is, they've asked you MCQ related questions ಅಷ್ಟೇ. The cost driver, everything they've asked in the form of a MCQ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? See, operating income percentage of revenues and all. We have done no operating income percentage problem. The similar problem this is. Only thing is they've asked MCQs. Okay. Employee cost and direct expenses. Mr. A works in a manufacturing company where he's paid bonus according to HALSE 50% plan. Besides the normal wages, the relevant data is as follows: time rate, time allowed, time taken, time saved is given. Mr. A believes that his bonus under Halsey system is getting reduced by 50%, thus intending to shift to row 1 premium plan. Now, all of you all know this. When time taken or time saved is, when is the row 1 plan more? When time saved is less than 50% or more than 50%?
Less than
Less
50%.
than 50%.
Less than
Time saved is less than 50%, row 1 will be more, right? Because row 1, what does it say? It doesn't want the time shift to be beyond a certain level. Correct? So when time saved is more than 50%, Halsey is more. All of you know this, no? Correct or not, everybody? Quickly
Yes,
tell me.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, in this case, when time saved is equals to time taken, that is when time saved is 50% of time allowed, right? Or time saved is equal to time taken, then what do we know? We know something. We know a property.
It will
Nenpila.
be
When is Halsey plan equal to row 1 plan?
when time
When
saved
time
is
saved
When
equals to
time
half
saved
of
is
the
equals
time.
to your time taken, right? Or 50% of time allowed. Because what is the formula for your this thing? What is that called? Row 1 plan, time taken to time rate plus time saved by time allowed. Time saved is 50% of time allowed under 50% aitalla. There also you are doing 50%, here also 50%. Both will be same. We have done this question 11, I think, of your CAPS material. Question 11. We have equated it and done the derivation where it is equal. Okay, so ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೆನಪಿರ್ಬೇಕು. That should strike here. When you see this immediately, it should strike. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. Therefore, Mr. A believes that his bonus under Halsey system plan is getting reduced by 50%, thus intending to shift to row 1 premium plan. It will not matter much. Correct, everybody?
Yes.
Yes, you are required to calculate the total earnings of Mr. A as per Halsey plan and Rowan Premium plan and enumerate the reason for difference in both earnings. Okay, then total earnings as per Halsey plan rupees 500 and as per Rowan Premium plan is 750. Total earnings as per Halsey 750 and 500. Here, look at this now. Total earnings as per Halsey plan 750 and as per Rowan plan is 750. When the actual time taken is 50% of time allowed, the earnings under Halsey and are equal. Henry. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು?
Yes, sir.
ಎಸ್. Look at this now. Question number 3 ನಮಗೆ 750. Can you see this, all of you? Right? Do we even need to do this? I'm saying, being my students, since it's a MCQ question, you have to even solve. You have saved 10 minutes what probably others would have spent, right? In 10 minutes, 2 marks you've got. So 10 minutes what others would have spent on that question, or 5 minutes, for example, at least 5 minutes, you in 10 seconds you could have answered that sub question. Correct? You don't have to solve only. Just by the principles and concepts you can answer the sub MCQ. Artha aita? But half of you didn't remember. I hope now at least you're able to recall. Yesterday, last class also, I explained that when time saved is greater than 50%, when time saved is less than 50%, when time saved equal to 50%, then what is the thing I told? Okay, those are important, right? MCQs only, your concepts will be tested. So question number 3 next. Question 4, right? Cost accounting systems, then process and operation costing, joint products and byproducts ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, marginal costing. All of you look at this now. Hey, gel pen and ball pen, right? Looks like a similar problem. Anyway, PR Limited sells 2 types of pens, right? Ball pen and gel pen. Currently, the company is expecting to sell 6,000 units of ball pen along with 3,600 units of gel pen in the coming month. Other information as forecasted is provided below. Selling price, variable cost, contribution per unit is given. Fixed cost is given in total 3,36,000. Okay, you are required to calculate the composite break even, right? Batch and individual break even of the pens in units. Composite. So again, very simple, all of you. Yes, is it simple or not? How will you find out the composite break even point? Using the sales ratio.
Composite.
Sales ratio is given 6,000 and 3,600. Yes, 6,000 and 3,600 sales ratio is given. Using that sales ratio, find out what the composite break even is. That is 60 into the sales ratio, 40 into sales ratio. Add it, you'll get the composite break even contribution per unit. Then divided by 3,36,000 divided by that, you get the composite break even for batch. Clear, all of you? Whatever composite break even point you get, that you multiply again into the sales ratio, you will get ball pen what is the break even point and gel pen what the break even point is. Yes or no? The
Yes,
same
sir.
thing is given here. So again, a very simple problem. Now, next descriptive questions. All of you look at this. Catalyst Limited is a distributor of industrial chemicals providing the chemical in drum packing. Each drum of the chemical costs rupees 200 from a supplier and the company sells it for rupees 240. Annual demand is estimated to be 2,50,000 drums. The cost of delivery is estimated at rupees 100 per order and the annual variable holding cost per drum at rupees 180 plus 10% of purchase cost. Based on the above data, the managing director calculates the economic order quantity and suggests that it should serve as the foundation for purchasing decisions in upcoming periods. However, the purchasing manager states that the managing director has ignored his share of bonus of 10% of the amount by which the total annual inventory holding and order costs before such remuneration are below 2 lakh. He further points out that the suppliers also offer quantity discounts on purchase orders. Remember, whenever quantity discount is given, your EOQ model fails. Right? If the order size is 1000 drums or above and the price per drum is only 199.6 compared to 200 when an order is between 500 and 999 drums. You are required to calculate economic order quantity as calculated by the company's managing director. Comment whether Catalyst Limited can look forward to the quantity discount offered for purchasing 1000 drums after calculating total cost. Right, considering purchase manager bonus along with the supplier quantity discounts. Hey, artha aita idu, all of you? Yes.
Yes.
Doesn't it look very similar to the problems we have done? Correct or not? Yes. So question
Yes, sir.
number 8.
32 पेज में
Is 32. Thank you. Yes. Right, economic order quantity square root of 2ab by c annual inventory requirement. So 2 into, right, 2,50,000 annual requirement into ordering cost per order divided by, right, the carrying cost which is given in the question. 500 units is the EOQ. Right, comparison of the total cost considering purchase manager bonus and supplier quantity discount at EOQ of 100 units. If considered the quantity discount at 1000 units, then what is the thing? Understanding? So ordering cost you calculate, carrying cost you calculate for both the columns. Then purchase manager's bonus 10% of 2 lakh minus 1 lakh, 10,000 only for EOQ, right? Then here 2 lakh minus 1 lakh 24 980 is considered for quantity discount here. And then annual inventory cost, you please remember I told you whenever there is a quantity discount you have to consider the purchase price also, that's considered here. And then you see whichever is better, whichever is less. What is less? Quantity discount is better. Understood? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
All right, so employee cost and direct expenses, right? P and Q are part of manufacturing team that handles multiple jobs within the production process. Detailed description of the respective monthly wages is provided below. The standard working hours for the month are 210. Overtime is compensated at twice the sum of the basic wages and dearness allowance. The employee's contribution to state insurance and provident fund are equal to the employee's contribution. Employees P and Q are assigned to jobs A, S, and D in the following proportions. Right? So P and Q is given, basic wages, dearness allowance, contribution to provident fund, employee state insurance, and overtime is given. There, in what ratio they are, allocated to A, S, and D is given. Overtime was done on job S. You are required to calculate the earnings of P and Q and allocate the employee's cost to each job A, S, and D. Right? How do you calculate the earnings? Basic wages plus dearness allowance. Correct? Contribution to provident fund on basic wages only. 10%, 10%. This is employee's contribution. Employer also equal contribution is given. Artha ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Employer only will be added to their earning. Contribution to employee state insurance will be added to their earning again. Right? OT hours here 8 is given. Clear all of you? Overtime hours. So that overtime hours you need to calculate. They've given, I think it is twice. Am I right? Twice the sum of the basic wages and dearness allowance. So add basic wages plus dearness allowance and then you calculate what the OTRs is. All of you understood? Right?
Yes, sir.
The standard workings for the month is working hours for the month is 210. So for 210 basic wages plus DNS allowance, calculate the rate, multiply into 2 and multiply into 8, you get the OTRs. Artha aita? Yes. Look at this now, all of you. Page number
33.
33. Yes. Basic wages I told you, then 50%, then overtime. Refer to working note. Look at the working note. 2 into basic wages plus DNS allowance. I told you divide by 810. Yes, remember all of you. I told divide by 810 into 8 hours the OT. That is the OT hours. Very simple. 1371. Yes or no, all of you?
Yes,
That
sir. Yes.
1371
Yes.
is added here. 6000 and then 12,000. 19,371. To that you will add provident fund and ESI. You will subtract to find out what is the net wages earned. All of you. Yes, what is the net wages earned? And then employee cost. For that, you have to add employee's contribution to PF and ESI. Always remember, you have to consider here gross earnings when you're considering the cost. Yes, everybody, 19,371, 22,500. That's what you will consider here. But this is excluding overtime, I think they have done. Okay. You can add overtime and also show including overtime. That depends on the question. Have they add including or excluding overtime? Clear all of you? Yes, Anna, are you there? Statement showing allocation of wages to jobs, right? Ordinary wages in the ratio of 3 is to 3 is to 4. Overtime is charged only to S, correct? Because they have given overtime is done only for S. Worker Q also into 3 is to 5 is to 2 and then you do it. Anything fancy? Anything difficult here? Simple?
sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right? Overheads absorption costing method, right? So predetermined overhead rate for department P1, P2. This comparative statement budgeted cost problem. Remember all of you done in the class. Machine hours,
Yes.
direct labor hours. One lengthy problem I done in the class. Yes or no? The
Yes, sir.
same problem. This is same problem. Yes. First you find out what the rates are. Predetermined overhead rates. Right? And then you have to prepare the comparison statement variance analysis for with the budgeted figures. Only thing they've written is calculate the amount of over or under absorption of production overheads. The last variance column is nothing but the over absorption, under absorption. Artha aita? Right? Question number 10 alva. Yes, computation of predetermined overhead rate for each of production departments from budgeted data. Right? I told you first you have to find out what the predetermined rates are. Correct? Then comparative statement you will do budgeted and actual. What is the comparison? So absorbed overhead based on the predetermined rates. Then overhead actually incurred, and then you have to find out what is. So I think this one table is addition in this problem when compared to our problem. Artha, all of you. This is the only thing that looks different. Everything else looks same. Always understand. Please understand that even the absorption will be at the actual quantity but multiplied into predetermined rates. ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಅದು? Predetermined overhead rate you do based on budgeted data. Everything is budgeted for predetermined rate, but multiply into the actual quantity that gives me your absorbed overheads. Correct, everybody?
Yes.
That's it. Cost sheet problem, and then cost accounting systems, job and batch costing, process and operation. A job and batch costing is similar to your cost sheet. Huh? Go through that. Okay.
Yes.
Job costing similar to that process and operation. Joint products by products. Villa. Service costing, right? So single room occupancy percentage 100%. Double room is 20%. Number of rooms is 20 and 10 given, right? The details of the expenses forecast is given. Room attendance to be paid 125 per room day. Mr. Intel, knowing about the power cut during the nights at right Hanley to preserve the natural light for astronomical research, sets up emergency power backup being charged from the customer separately at rupees 200 per room if requested. Right, if they want the power backup, the rent of the double room is to be fixed at 1.5 times the single room. Yes, equivalent units. In the month of June, Mr. Matrix, along with his family, visited the Hanley Dark Reserve to experience a breathtaking view of the stars. For one night stay at the place, he approached Mr. Intel to book a double bedroom and also requested for emergency power backup at night. You are required to calculate the rent to be charged from Mr. Matrix, considering the profit at 25% on total taking. Assume 360 days in a year for calculation purposes. Yes,
Page number 47.
page 47. Again, it is a very simple problem. Okay. Total equivalent single rooms you have to consider. Single room, sorry, there are 20 rooms. Double rooms, there are 10 rooms. 360 days in a year. Room days you have to calculate. 100% occupancy is considered 80% occupancy. This is my normal in absolute terms. Equivalent terms only, it is considered 1.5 times. Double rooms is 1.5 times of single rooms. Therefore, this is into 1, this is into 1.5. You get 11,520. Any doubts here? All of you. Is this clear? Yes? Right? Statement of total cost is considered. So all the costs you take and add it, you get total cost here. Okay. Given in the question, the state thing, you have to just apply it here. A stay. Room attendant wages 125 per room day for 10,080 room days. Please understand that you have to consider here absolute and not equivalent. NPDL Wali, I've given a general note. When you have to consider equivalent units, when you have to consider your room days. When the cost per unit is already given, then why will you do equivalent units? You have to use normal absolute units itself. Clear all of you? Right? Profit is 25% on total taking. Add it, you'll get the total sales. Let R be the rent for single room. Then 11,520 R will be equal to this. Correct or not? That is 1 lakh to 1 crore 24,000 plus 25% of 11,520 R. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ all of you? This is my profit, right? This is my profit. Then you equate it, you'll get what R is. And then you'll know this is for single room. Therefore, for double room, it will be 1.5. To this, you will add the power backup charges. Right? 200. You get what is to be charged to that particular individual. Clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Service costing, standard costing, marginal costing. All of you, look at this now. Gourmet Food Products is a new entrant in the market for chocolates. It has introduced a new product, Sweetie. This is a small rectangular chocolate bar. The bars are wrapped in aluminum foil and packed in attractive cartons containing 50 bars. One carton has 50 bars. A carton is therefore considered the basic sale unit. Therefore, carton only we have to consider. Although management had made detailed estimates of cost volumes prior to undertaking this venture, new projections based on actual cost experiences are now required. Income statement for the last 2 quarters are each taught to be representative of the costs and productive efficiency we can be expect which can be expected in the next few quarters. There were virtually no inventories on hand at the end of each quarter. The income statements reveal the following. Yes, sales is given for first quarter and second quarter. So number of units is also given. Cost of goods sold is given. Gross margin, sales and selling and administration cost, net income or loss before taxes, tax, net income or loss after tax. The firm's overall margin and average income tax rate is 40%. This 40% figure has been used to estimate the tax liability arising from the chocolate operations. Required, management would like to know the break-even point in terms of quarterly carton sales for the chocolates. Yes, break-even point for the quarterly carton sales for the chocolates. Now, how will you find out? All of you concentrate now. How will you know whether a cost is fixed or variable? Quickly tell me. How will you know if a cost is fixed or variable?
If the
Sorry, it is not
period is
changing. It will
valid,
be
Correct. If two
it is
period data is given all of you, if it is fixed in total, it will be same in both the periods. Correct or not? If it is changing, then you have to apply the formula change in cost by change in units, right? Change in cost divided by change in units, and then determine whether it is variable or semi-variable in nature. NPD all of you.
yes.
Yes or no? So you have to use that principle by for identify what the variable cost and fixed costs are, and then you have to find out what the total fixed cost is, and then find out what the break-even point is using the PVR. Clear all of you? Management estimate that there's an investment of 30 lakh in this product line. What quarterly carton sales and total revenue are required in each quarter to earn an after-tax return of 20% per annum on investment? Yes. So X profit formula. Only thing is X profit after tax. Arthaita. So find out what is X profit before tax and then apply the formula. Simple. Yes. The firm's marketing people predict that if the selling price is reduced by 1.5 per carton, right, rupees 0.03 off per chocolate bar, and a rupees 1,50,000 advertising campaign among school children is mounted, sales will increase by 20% over the second sales quarter sales, right? Should this plan be implemented, right? So calculate the revised income statement at the revised selling price and then find out whether it should be implemented or not. Arthaita, all of you? Yes. Is page number
49.
49. Yes. Estimation of fixed and variable cost. This is what I told you. Change in cost by change in activity. 8 lakh 80 divided by 7 lakh divided by minus 7 lakh divided by 70 minus 50,000 and rupees 9 per carton is the variable cost. Fixed cost would be cost of goods sold, that is fixed manufacturing cost plus variable manufacturing cost, that is 50,000 into 9 is equal to 7 lakh. When you do, you get the fixed cost as 2 lakh 50,000. Same way for selling and distribution, change in cost divided by change in units. Yes, everybody? There are two line items there. One was COGS and second one is S&D. Right? Rupees 2 per unit. Therefore, fixed portion of this is 5,50,000. Clear all of you? Right?
Yes.
So the total variable cost are rupees 11 per unit and the total fixed cost are rupees 8 lakh per quarter. Right? Given the sale price of rupees 24 per carton and variable cost of 11, therefore contribution per carton is 13. Right? Break even point, fixed cost per quarter divided by contribution per carton, 8 lakh by 13, 61,539 cartons. Right? To earn an after tax return of 20% on 30 lakh, the desired annual after tax net income should be 6 lakh, correct? The quarterly after tax net income will be 1,50,000, that is divided by 3. Divided by 4. That is annual, right? So divide by 4 andre 1,50,000 per quarter. Clear all of you? Given the tax rate, I told you find out pre-tax. Given the tax rate of 40%, the pre-tax return will be 2,50,000. How? 1,50,000 divided by 0.6. Arthak idea all of you?
Yes.
2,50,000. This is X profit. X profit. This is what I told you while reading the question. Fixed cost plus X profit divided by contribution per unit. You will get what the desired sales are. Is this clear? Right? The proposal involves involves reducing selling price from 24 to 22.5. Variable cost will not change. It will be same. Therefore, contribution will reduce by 1.5. Is this clear? The increasing advertising cost will push the fixed cost up by 1,50,000 by 1,50,000 to 9,50,000. Therefore, find out what the profit. So a 20% increase over second quarter sales would increase sales from 70,000 cartons to 84,000 cartons. Right? So if expected earnings before taxes will be 16,000, how? 84,000 cartons into 11.5 contribution minus 9,50,000 will be only 16,000. After deducting tax at 40%, net income will be only 9,600. Earnings has reduced from 66,000 to 9,600. Therefore, it should not be implemented. Clear? Right? So this is my marginal cost. Budgetary control also I've not yet done. Right? Define product costs. What do you understand by operating cost? Operating and operation, I hope you know the difference. Operation is in your process costing. Operating is service costing. Yes. Describe its essential features and state whether it can be usefully implemented. Yes. How apportionment of joint cost. This is joint products. Then pre-production cost, research and development cost, and training cost. So all of this your first, first chapter in the Bande. This is your service costing question. Okay. Yes. So go through. I hope now it will be much simpler and easier for you to go through the RTP. Important points I've highlighted. More or less, everything is easy. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Lastly, I'll just glance through the study suggested answers. Suggested answer of your Jan 20, 25 exam. Yes, keep the videos on. Last few minutes, then we'll be concluding. Yes. Cost and management accounting, part 1 MCQs, or if you look at this, case scenario 1 is given, right? So if you look at this, your last January examination, your ABC was given as a part of your MCQ. Can't say all of you.
Yes,
Production runs, machine hours, but this is a simple one, not complicated. Simple one, but ABC. Yes, for 10 marks. This is a simple ABC, it's not complicated. Next, case scenario 2. XYZ Limited produces product P. The cost account of the company has to prepare its budget for a particular year. So budgetary control question, again 10 marks, simple question, nothing complicated here also. AB Limited has furnished the following data: production in units, budget and actual is given, fixed overhead, volume variance, your standard costing, right? Joint cost, normal idle time and abnormal idle time you have to calculate here. The data pertaining to worker C in a factory depicts that he is paid at a rate of rupees 100 per hour, right? And a week comprises of 48 hours for a 6 days work. The allowed absence time is 15 minutes per day for maintenance, etc. That means this is normal. Yes, everybody? The job card of C indicates his chargeable time is scattered for two different jobs, J1 21 hours and J2 24 hours. Correct? So 21 plus 24, that means total how many hours?
45.
45 hours. Correct? But however, it comprises of 48 hours. That means what's the difference?
Idle time.
Ideal.
Number of hours. 48
3
minus
hours.
45, 3 hours. Right? However, 15 minutes in per day for maintenance is allowed. Therefore, how many days in a week? 6. So 6 into 15 minutes and rest aito.
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
90 minutes andre in terms of hours. 1.5 hours. So 3 hours is there. 1.5 hours is considered as what?
Normal.
Normal. The other one would be, yes. So here 100 rupees per hour and 1.5 and 1.5 is there. Correct, everybody? Now look at this. That is question number 13. 13. B is the answer. Yes. B is the answer. 150, 150, 1.5 into 100, 1.5 into 100. Simple. 2 marks
Yes.
for this. 2 marks for this. Yes, just look at it. Right? Only thing that you will go wrong is nervousness. Aste. Question is easy. Question paper is easy. During a certain period, 4,000 labor hours were utilized and the standard hours for actual production. So again, this is your, I think, this thing, standard costing problem. Okay. Calculate carrying cost per unit. A company is analyzing its inventory management practices and has determined that the economic order quantity EOQ is given 400 units. Cost incurred for placing a single order is rupees 25. That means this is ordering cost is given, right? Total demand A is given. Can you find out C by applying with the formula? Square root of 2AB by C. Clear all of you? Yes, that's all. Those are your MCQs. Yes. So break-even sales in value for each machine they've asked. Then calculate sales level in units where both machines are equally profitable. Okay. Again, yes, related to your marginal costing, they've given certain. Again, very easy. XYZ company has an option to buy any one of the two machines N or M to manufacture its unique industrial component P. Each of the machines have the capacity to produce same quantity component P and are almost identical except for the fact that they are being manufactured by different manufacturers. The specification for each machine are: it has the capacity to produce 50,000 components of P per annum, the fixed cost being 1,50,000, and it could generate a profit of 2,25,000. N, right? It is also having equal capacity to produce same number of components as that of machine M per annum, and all the components thus produced could be sold in the open market without any difficulty. Fixed cost of machine is 60,000 less than that of machine M and yield a profit of 1,60,000 by selling all the components. So the profit is lesser here. Can you see 2,25,000 and 1,60,000? The cost is the same and number of units also will be, sorry, the fixed cost is different. Artha aita all of you? Yes, the selling price of each component of P is 100. Calculate break-even sales in value for each machine. Easy, right? That is selling price minus variable cost is contribution. Total fixed cost by contribution will give me the break-even sales. Yes or no? Right? So what is happening here? Now, all of you look at this. So this is 1A, am I right? Yes. Machine N, quantity 50,000, 50,000, right? 100 selling price, 100. The variable cost here they've given 92.5, here 95. Contribution 7.5 and 5. So 3,75,000, 2,50,000. Fixed cost is 1,50,000 and 60. That's how you got 2,25,000 and 1,60,000. Given in the question, Arthaita, all of you? Yes. So contribution, that is PV ratio, is 7.5% and 5%. So break even sales fixed cost by PV ratio, you are getting 20 lakh and 18 lakh. Clear? Right? Next, what they've asked is calculate the sales level in units where both machines are equally profitable, all of you. At what sales level they are equally profitable? For that they have written, right? Your 7.5x and 5x contribution minus fixed cost. When you equate it, it should be equal. Yes, everybody? It will be equal under both alternatives. So that's what they've done here. 7.5x minus 1,50,000 is equals to 5x minus 90,000 fixed cost. So you're getting 2.5x equal to 60,000, x equal to 24,000. Clear?
Yeah.
This one adjustment you can mark it. You might get stuck here. So this one adjustment you mark. Right? Next. So again, they've given you the different levels. All of you look at this now. They've given you reorder level, reorder quantity, minimum stock level, maximum stock level. You are required to calculate the maximum consumption per day and the minimum consumption per day. Yes. The difference between minimum lead time and maximum lead time is 4 days, all of you. Okay. The average lead time to produce a raw material is 7 days. So minimum minus maximum is 4. Minimum plus maximum by 2 is 7. Can you equate it and find out what is minimum and maximum lead time?
Yes.
Yes. So once you find out what minimum and maximum lead time is, then you can, by using the formula reorder level, maximum into maximum, can you find out what maximum C is?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then using the formula maximum level, right? Maximum level is what?
ROL plus
Maximum level
ROL.
formula. Reorder level plus
R1
reorder quantity minus average C you don't know. Average C you don't know
average peak.
into average P. Yes, but anyway, that is not required. Actually, they've not asked. Okay, bit bitty. Then minimum stock level they've asked. What you need is minimum consumption, correct? Okay. Once you find out the average consumption, maximum consumption, you can find out minimum consumption. Artha aita all of you? There are different approaches you can use. One of the approach I told you. This was I do. B minus A is 4. Then A plus B by 2 is 7. Equate it and you'll get what is minimum and maximum lead time. Correct? Then, like I said, reorder level, first step they did, they found out what maximum consumption is. Then maximum stock, the same approach they have followed. Reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum. They found out what? Yes, what the minimum is. Understood all of you? Right, minus minimum into minimum, correct? Reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum into minimum. Minimum consumption we don't know. Minimum reorder period we already found out. Substitute it, minimum consumption is found out. Right? So this is your cost sheet problem. Yes, prepare a statement of cost sheet on various elements of cost and profit earned. Okay, that is for 9 marks. Then for 5 marks they've asked here your labor problem. A skilled worker has assigned a work. Relevant data is given as follows. Time rate, time allowed, time taken is given. Time saved you can compute. The worker has given an option to choose either Halsey or Rowan plan. Now all of you tell me which is better. Time allowed is 9 hours. Time taken is 6 hours. Therefore time saved is
3
Roman.
years.
3 years.
3 hours. Time saved is less than 50 or more than 50%.
Less
Second.
than
Less than
50%.
50%, which will be better?
Rowan.
Rowan.
Rowan, we know the direct answer, 5 marks. So you are required to calculate the earnings under both plans and which plan is more beneficial for a worker. We know the answer, but you have to compute it. Artha aita? 5 marks you have to compute. Okay. Rowan plan is more beneficial for a worker since he's right. He is earning more under this plan. Okay. Then process costing problem. Okay, I think this is marginal costing related. Okay, the next one, Abram Modi, looks easy to me. So for each different alternative, when the selling price is reducing by 10% at each stage, sorry, 20% or something, what will be the impact? Artha 10%, right? So first it is reducing to 800 to 720 it became, then it is reducing by 20 rupees at each stage. What is the impact it has? They're asking. Artha, which is the best combination you need to choose? This is your service costing, right? Problem. Similar problem what is done in the class. Exactly same it is. 25 days in a month. Similar problem I've done in the class. Overhead recovery rate. So the normally cost sheet based ಇರುತ್ತಿದ್ದು. So if you saw the marks pattern there, yes, for this question I didn't show. Look at it. So 8 marks plus 2 plus 4 marks, 6 marks, right? 14 marks. Here also 14 marks. Next. Look at this. They've given you the marks breakup for each sub question. Kansta idea?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
For
sir.
calculating your standard costing variances, all of this. Generalize the following transaction. So if you see here, right? There was 4 marks plus 4. Right? 4 plus 4 and 6. 6 plus 4 plus 4 they've asked. Artha. So that is how you are getting one additional theory question. Sometimes they ask one additional theory question, not just in the last question. Go through this theory question. It's very similar to your, what is done in the class with respect to your this thing, defective work and spoiled work and all, how the treatment is given. Yes, when it is due to fault of another department, ಸೇಮ್ ಓವರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಇದೆ. ಸಿ ವೆರ್ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಾಂಗ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಪೋರ್, ದ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಟು ದ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್. ಮೇಕ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್? Whose fault it is, you charge it to that department, right? Where the defect is due to bad workmanship, it shall be written off as a loss. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? It is abnormal cost, bad workmanship. Where a percentage of the defective work is allowed in particular batch, as it cannot be avoided normal in nature, the cost of rectification will be charged to the whole job and spread over the entire output of the batch. Make sense? Right? Look at this now. State the cost unit for each industry. This is what I told you. Look at this examination question. January exam has come. Right? What more do you want? 5 marks question, half mark each. Half mark each. By just writing the cost units here, that's all. Explain the method that can be used for controlling, selling, and distribution overheads. What are the methods that can be adopted? Right? Okay, there are 2 questions. Or second sub question. Suggest any one basis of reapportionment of service department. Look at this again. 2 questions are like that, right? So, and your theory is difficult. 4 marks here and 9 marks. It's just for writing cost units and reapportionment basis. Did you get it?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So don't skip theory, don't skip theory, don't skip theory. 100 times Shetty sir would have told, I would have also told, right? Throughout the, I think, 6 months period of your training and coaching, at least 1000 times ಅಂತೂ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ರೋ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಸತಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಥಿಯರಿ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, ಥಿಯರಿ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, ಥಿಯರಿ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. It is easy, repetitive questions, the same thing they keep asking. Just go through the few last question papers, MTPs, RTPs, ಅದನ್ನೇ prepare ಮಾಡಿ. That itself will give you almost 80%, 90%. Clear all of you? Yes, and then caps material if you have learned, that's more than enough for theory. Okay? You all feel a little more confident now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Sir, ಮರ್ತೋಗಿತ್ತು ನೆನಪಾಯ್ತಾ?
Yes.
ಆಯ್ತು ಆಯ್ತು.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a matter of how much time. So, if you sir would have taken 1.5 hours, I think, session. I took
Yes.
2 hours yesterday, 2 hours today. Correct or not? So 80% of the syllabus we were able to revise in a matter of 5 to 6 hours. Correct? For that, why are you badkoing, sir, Nenpila? It only takes 5 to 6 hours, no, to revise the entire syllabus. Huh? Logically, yes or no? You tell me. Then why you are getting scared? You, sir, I don't remember. Remove that fear. Always see, if I had done this session when the batch started, would you have understood? Obviously not. Correct. That means whatever you're just sitting in the class is also helping you. You sitting in the class also is helping you. That is also, remember, you're preparing, you're already preparing. You're already preparing just by sitting in the class. Got it? So remove that fear now. Remove that fear. Put in the effort. That's all. Put in the effort. All of you will be able to pass with high marks. Everybody can pass with high marks in your first attempt and probably with a rank also. Don't look at your neighbor. Everybody is capable. Give in your best. Okay? Yes. That's it, I think. So in time, I've completed. Yes, Aditya.
Sir, material costing alone doubt ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
Okay.
In division material ಅದು ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕನ್ ರುಪಿ ಇಂಟು INR conversion.
Adana. Okay. I think we'll break because they have a session no after this, so they'll have to rest. Thank you, everybody. Bye, all of you. You can stop the recording.